John Eliot, 1604 to 1690. Apostle to the Indians. As John Eliot and his companions rode through the woods, the cold wind swirled fallen leaves around their horses' hooves. A gust penetrated Eliot's coat, and he shivered. How would the Indians react to his preaching in their own language? Would they even understand what he was saying? He calmed his thoughts. The interpreter riding beside him could help, if necessary. Eliot prayed quietly for God to bless the day's efforts. The weathered logs of a stockade surrounding the Indian village appeared. A few men came out to meet them, speaking words of welcome in English. They led the way to a large wigwam in a central clearing. Several Indians stood in front of it, but two caught Eliot's eye. The chieftain, Waubon, wearing a headdress flaring with feathers, and his son, dressed in European clothes. Waubon had asked for his son to receive formal instruction so he could learn about the white man's God. The young man now attended school in a nearby town, but had come home to be present for this first worship service in his father's village. Eliot dismounted and greeted his friends in the Algonquin language. Waubon invited the Englishman inside the wigwam. As his eyes adjusted to the dimmer light, Eliot saw many men, women, and children sitting on the ground. The air was warm, and some had already shaken off the blankets they'd wrapped around themselves to protect against the cool fall wind. Standing before the gathered people, Eliot began the service by praying in English. Although he had studied and translated Algonquin for many years, he didn't dare try to pray in that language. But he felt confident enough to conduct the rest of the service in the native tongue of the listeners. He read his translation of the 10 Commandments, pausing after each to explain it briefly and simply. Then Eliot preached. He described God's creation of the world and everything in it. But the first people sinned, and God was terribly angry with all sinners. Eliot lovingly showed his listeners ways they broke the commandments every day. He told how Jesus came to earth to save people from God's wrath and eternal death. He said Christ was now in heaven, but would return one day to judge all people. The earth and everything in it would burn up in fire. The Indians listened intently. Eliot assured them that those who truly repented of their sin and believed in Jesus alone for salvation would be forgiven their sins. They could live forever with the Lord Jesus in the joy of heaven. After an hour and 15 minutes, he stopped preaching and looked at the people. "Do you understand what I've said to you?" They answered all together, "Yes." "Do you have any questions?" One man asked, "How may we come to know Jesus Christ?"